Hello, beautiful light-filled souls. Trisha Barker here. I would first like to thank those of you who've joined my spiritual community. It's so wonderful to meet new people and to meditate with you and offer healings in those groups. Also, I really appreciate the comments here on YouTube. It's fun to hear from those of you around the world and know that people get something out of these talks and these future interviews. So the future interviews are focused on how to make life more beautiful, more easy. We are evolving, but does it have to be so challenging? I mean, can't it be a little easier? Can't we gain strength and power when we face certain challenges and make these challenges more of a game and joyful and peaceful? Isn't that possible? So I'd like to focus on how to make my life easier, your life easier, and hear from people who are doing just that, because NDEs are powerful and important. And I will probably, still pop back in and talk with NDEers here and there, but I'm just excited about this new focus because I think NDEs are making a cumulative effect on society, and I've lived to see it. So when I first started telling my story to students in the 90s, this wave has moved through society. There's so much more language for spirituality in younger people. There's so much more knowing of meditation. It's amazing to watch. I think ideas such as our oneness with others are becoming more understandable to people. Mediumship is more widely accepted. I mean, of course, there's the skeptics, and of course, there's a variety of topics you can go down, in each of these areas. But in general, these messages are seeping into our consciousness. And I have a beautiful background of libraries, and you think about, even if you haven't read a book, this spread of information through society, whole cultures were created based on, and whole colleges and ways of thinking and ways of being were based on philosophies and religion, and books had this huge impact on society. And I'm just putting out there that all this spread of near-death experiences and these stories from the other side have indeed had an effect on our culture. And NDEs are not the only way to awaken. So, they're a subset of people across the world who are awakening to their gifts, or awakened very gently and awakened in various paths that maybe you'd like to assimilate instead of looking at dying, as the only way to wake up. And in many ways, I think these near-death experiences, I'm only speaking for myself, come to those of us who are pretty stubborn or dramatic, in some ways, because there's generally a huge change, and you're not going to make that kind of instant shift, without something very dramatic. So, change can be instant and it can be easy. That's what I'd like to put forward, that awakening can be, and it has been for many people who I've talked to, just a moment where they asked for it in prayer and meditation, that it just came to them. The way, a bird lands on your fence, the way anything happens, that it's just a natural part of this linear existence, that many of us will wake up on this path, and we've chosen to do that at this time and support one another in this way. And why do we need to do this now? Well, it's just part of our evolution. It's just part of this change through society. And maybe there's many more levels that human beings will ascend to, will grow into over time, but this is where we are now. And so looking at the challenges in our world, it's important to bring that light and that intention on how to face challenges and how to gain strength before facing them, how to do this with the most love and the most light and the most play, because now as many near-death experiencers know, that all we're doing is trying to bring more light here, that we are trying to let go of fear, trying to let go of darkness. And so, can't we make this a little more joyful? Can't we make this a little more easy? Can't it be more healing for all involved? And it's just an idea that I'm putting out there. I'm not saying that this is how it plays out. It's a hope. It's a theory. It's a let's walk into this together and make life easier. And in many ways, life is easier with each generation. So that's just maybe what everyone has been doing, but we are doing it with greater intention and doing it with an intent to bring really huge changes through society, greater peace, greater connection, greater oneness, and greater understanding of one another without judgment. That's one of the best gifts we can give people. A near-death experiencer and I were talking about this. One of the best gifts we can give others is wanting nothing from them, and wanting nothing and also exuding a good energy of light and peace. So why is it important to give that gift to others? Because most people, myself included, meet all types of people who want something from us. Maybe it's some of our money, maybe it's they want to date us or sleep with us, or have us as a friend to listen to all their woes, and just use us as a therapist. And like there's, and instead of being a real friend, like maybe it is that people want connection, and their egos just want to be associated with this person or that person, or maybe they want you to tell them that they're wonderful. I mean, there's like all kinds of varieties of things that people want from you, connections, but whatever the case, it's tiring. Like, what is beautiful is when people meet in humor, or they meet in joy, or they just meet from this place of pure light, and they're both sharing the light. So there isn't this, let me take from you, and how much am I getting from you? And, I'm guilty of it too. I'm human. Anyone can think at different times, what am I getting out of this? Instead of just making life easy and going, I'm meeting you with joy in this situation, not in this situation, so go do something that gives you joy, and go do something that gives me joy. It doesn't have to be complicated. There can be peaceful ways of interacting with one another. Now, I'm not an expert in this. I only know that when you take away the statement, life is hard, you're left with a lot of freedom. If everything is easy, then there's no conflicts. What are you going to create from this place of absolute beauty? So if all of the things that were hard in your life, whatever these may be, a health challenge, a toxic relationship, a demanding job that takes all of your time, what if all of these things were in your life? And what if each one of them was suddenly gone? What do you ideally, in your perfect world, want to create? And how much of your time do you honestly use thinking about that? Because it's hard. Creation out of nothing, creation of something new is challenging. So this is the work that maybe we all have to do more of, is what do we want the world to look like? What do we want our lives to look like? What do we want our inner worlds to look like? And how can they reflect this more beautiful world that we are working on creating? And we just believe that this is what we are doing. And as you believe, so often it comes true to some degree. So that's my new focus. It's not that I dislike near-death experiencers. I just think telling of stories isn't as important to me at this moment as it is of how do you live life with greater ease in all areas. And how can other people do this too? How can I incorporate more of this? How can others incorporate more of this? Like, I just want to share my good energy with you. And I want to find people with good energy who are spreading this in a variety of ways. So I have a few people on the list, but I am open to your suggestions. And I love people of all cultures and all belief systems. And, I really just want to delve in. I don't have to agree with everything someone says, but I really just want to delve into conversations about living well. So thank you for listening. And I also, before I go, want to give you a quick theta healing for releasing the program, Life is Hard, and replacing it with Life is Abundant, Life is Easy, I am strong enough to face all of life's challenges, and we'll just go from there. I'll intuitively figure it out. But if you would, and you want this theta healing, you can simply close your eyes and nod yes. Dear Creator of all that is, thank you for this moment in time, and thank you for everyone here present, everyone watching this video. Send them much light in their life and through all of their centers, cleansing their aura, connecting them to the earth and to heaven, to great compassion and great kindness and unconditional love. Dear Creator of all that is, I command that you remove all programs, the history level, at every level, within everyone listening. Remove this program of life is hard, yes. Delete it. Replace it with life is beautiful, life is easy, life is a playful challenge, life is compassionate, death is compassionate, life is compassionate. I am compassionate to myself. I grow in strength each day. I grow stronger than all of my challenges. My inner strength has no limit. Let all programs at all levels of life is hard be removed and deleted. In any places within you where there is a wound, a great wound of life is hard, let that light send healing to these places on your timeline. And let the light grant you great strength so that you are stronger than all of your challenges. Let your higher self assist you. Let your guides and angels assist you. Let your ancestors assist you. It is done, it is done, it is done. Thank you, and may you be blessed.